Problems for Obamacare continue to mount. 38 Republicans just signing a legal brief in support of a lawsuit challenging the president's health care law. That suit accuses the president of ignoring the law by giving members of Congress and their staffs special treatment. Florida Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis is one of those lawmakers taking on the president. Tell us about first of all, tell us about what's going on, Congressman. So members of Congress and your staffs are exempt from having to sign up for Obamacare?
Well, actually, the statute mandates that they sign up for Obamacare, but the statute did not provide any subsidies for that. Well, a lot of people didn't like that, so they got the administration to essentially grant unlawful subsidies. And so we've tried to challenge that legislatively. That failed in the Senate, and so now Senator Johnson's challenging this legally. And I think the point is we've been complaining about executive overreach in all these different instances, as we should be, but you don't really have any credibility if you're willing to call it out when it suits your political interests, but if you're not willing to call it out when it benefits Congress. And so I think that it's important that we speak up about it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rand Paul is one of the senators who was pretty vocal about making sure that members of Congress, the Senate, their staffs were required to be on Obamacare. As I think you pointed out, at one point, they weren't even required to be enrolled in Obamacare, right?
Well, I think it was going through a bunch of iterations. And look, whatever law you pass, you got to live under the same terms of it. There are a lot of provisions of Obamacare that harm some of my constituency, but they're not allowed to just go get a bailout from the administration like members of Congress and the staff did in this situation.
So what happens now? If your group gets what you wish, then there won't be subsidies for all the staffers that work for you guys and the other senators on the Hill. They're going to be pretty upset with you, aren't they?
Well, the good thing is we control our own office budget, and so I can pay my staff more to make up for that. Really, the only people who will be affected negatively are the members themselves. But I think the staff can be dealt with, and I'm not opposed to there being employment contributions for people's health care. I just think it's got to actually be in the statute, and you can't just go making this stuff up willy-nilly.
Good for you, Congressman. What about, can you react to President Obama saying, Obamacare debate, it's over?
Well, I think that's wishful thinking on his part. I mean, don't forget, Eric, with this lawlessness we're talking about, a lot of the most damaging provisions he strategically suspended to try to get his incumbent senators through this election. And so once you start talking about the employer mandate, some of these other provisions, there's going to be way more upheaval. So I think he's in for a rude awakening if he really believes that.
There was a Congressman Stephen Lynch, Democrat, who said, yeah, the worst is yet to come. Do you agree with him?
Well, absolutely. You're going to see more people being moved to 29 hours. You're going to see businesses not want to go above 50 employees because of the negative effects that Obamacare will impose upon them, and that's going to create an even bigger drag on our economy.
Okay, I'd like to play that side. Democrat Congressman Stephen Lynch, take a listen.
There's all of these taxes and fees that are the tough medicine that up to now they've not implemented. So I don't know who's going to do that. Maybe after the administration leaves, they expect the next administration is going to put these penalties in place. I think that's the time when, you know, it's going to hit the fan.
Congressman DeSantis, that can't be good for Democrats running up against Republicans in some of these too close to call seats, right?
That's exactly right. And the difference between 2012 and 2014 is Obamacare had not been implemented yet in 2012. Now we're seeing some of the implementation, and you're starting to see comments even from Democrats such as Stephen Lynch that I think is very indicative that the public, and particularly you mentioned independent voters, they're very negative in terms of this law's effect on them and their health care.
All right, we're going to leave right there. Congressman Ron DeSantis, Florida. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.